for joining us for another Service Talk with Saul. We're going to go over regen and helpful hints how to regen your bus less. Helpful hints to regen your bus less, no idling. So IMG members have recommended that each trip only an hour and a half of idling maximum for each trip. 5 minutes on pre-trip, 5 minutes on post-trip, and then minimal on each stop. Another helpful hint on regenning less is to shift down. So, for instance, if you're coming into a big town an hour out, you should shift down into 5th gear. And then if you're going to be in town for several days, shift down where it's appropriate into 3rd or 4th, and that will help keep the RPMs up, which will help you regen less. So we're going to show you the regen symbol for each bus. So this is the regen symbol for a TX. This is the regen symbol in the T's and C coaches. If you see the regen symbol come on in your coach and you're going down the road, the first thing you should do is shift down into 5th gear. In 30 to 45 minutes, if the symbol does not go out, you need to plan to stop and do a force regen. And that needs to happen in the next hour. So doing a stationary regen, the first step in doing this is finding the force regen button. So most Vanhools, the regen button is going to be in this area where the restroom fill is. On most T coaches, the force regen button is right here, so it'll be this black button. So the newer Vanhools, the force regen button is right here, and it's the red button. On the older Vanhool T models, the force regen button is right here. Some of the Vanhool T models, the force regen button is beside the radio, right here. On a 30-foot Temsa, the force regen button is in this compartment. It's the green button. Now that we've found the force regen button, we're going to go through the stationary force regen process. Step 2 of stationary regen. So we're going to put our foot on the brake, push in the park brake, put it into drive, feel the bus go into drive, back to neutral, pull the park brake out, and then we have 30 seconds to depress the force regen switch. So we're going to have to hold the force regen button for 5 to 15 seconds for the bus to go into regen. So we have the bus into regen. It will take about 20 to 45 minutes to complete the regen process, all depending on how long the regen light has been on. After the engine has idled down, completing the regen process, there will be another symbol on your dash, which is the hot exhaust light. So on a TX, this is the hot exhaust light symbol. For the T's and C coaches, this is the temperature symbol for the exhaust. So it's recommended that we wait 5 minutes to let the exhaust cool down before we continue on our trip. And that's how you do the regen process on a Vanhool. If you have any questions, please see us in the shop. Thanks for being with us on another Service Talk with Saul.